Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ship It and Sip It and our second episode of Roast Them Gently. This week, I'm excited to bring you another writing tool, but this time it has AI. And I think it's got potential. It's called Flipner AI, and it is launching on Product Hunt next week. I'll share the link to the website as well as the Product Hunt teaser page in the notes for this episode. But before we dive into the show, let me remind you of what we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about the product by looking at the website and the landing page and seeing what it looks like in terms of copy, design, value proposition, all of those things. In this case, the product has not launched yet, so I can't give you any insights into how it actually works, but there are quite a few previews on the landing page. We're going to talk about the people behind the product. We just have a little bit about the founder today. He puts some of his words onto the website itself, and we'll get into that. Then we'll talk about who it's for. Who do I think will find value in this product? And finally, give it a rating and talk about maybe whether I would like to use it or not, or who should rate it higher, and what the founder can do to maybe bump that rating up a little bit, in my opinion. All right, so let's dive into the show. All right, so here we are on Flipner.com. Flipner AI helps you to capture your ideas and craft text with AI's touch. Pocket-sized writing assistant, content hub, creation of masterful texts faster than ever in your style. All right, the first thing I noticed about Flipner when I had a look through the website is its value proposition is crafting, creating, building texts, which just leaves me scratching my head a little bit. Texts are just that, they're texts. We use text to make wonderful things as online content creators. We make blog posts, we make social media posts, we make so much of human knowledge is created out of text. So the value proposition here just leaves me wondering, what kinds of texts am I able to make? The subtitle here is made up of 4 short phrases. I think that could be pulled together. I'm not sure what he means by pocket-sized, but we'll get into that a little bit later, probably. And he's promising, the creator here is promising a lot of things, and let's see if AI can deliver on those promises. We get into more detail here. So we have your thoughts, and Flipner helps turn them into notes and transform them into ready-to-use content 100 times faster. Okay, starting to take shape a little bit, but still we have a lot of descriptors of text in different ways. So you've got your thoughts, now we've got notes, now we've got content, but we go back to text in the subtitle. Utilize Flipner as a text and audio note-taking tool and a content hub and a quick assistant for writing. I don't take a lot of audio notes, but maybe I could if this tool would help me turn it into useful content. All right, how does it work? First of all, we've got 5 blocks here describing how Flipner works. But in the subtitle, you can capture ideas on the go. Okay, still referencing those audio notes that some people like to make a lot of audio notes, I guess, if they're driving or walking or whenever they're too busy to type something down or write it down. Store them into a content hub. That makes sense. It's easy to get disorganized when you take notes in different places. Transform and merge your thoughts into structured drafts and ready-to-use texts. Getting better, absolutely, but still, I would recommend to this person to really focus on what kind of text we want to make. All right. First advantage for Flipner is to collect your thoughts and ideas in notes. That's cool, but honestly, there are a lot of note takers, and my iPhone has a great notes app that I don't use very often, but it it does offer that functionality. Let's see what else Flipner will do. Second advantage is no more chaos. Okay. Chaos is to be avoided if you want to write a lot and organize your life. Merging notes, not something I've really thought that much about before. I'm still guessing at how this is organized. I know that other note-taking systems, you can use tags, you can link between sort of notes, as far as I know, in like Obsidian and those second brain type of products. So this isn't altogether unusual. Third advantage for Flipner can adopt your thoughts into particular text styles. Okay, I guess this is getting into the AI text generation side of it. You can choose different styles that you'd like to have. I think, and this is purely my opinion, what a lot of writers would like to see is an AI that you feed some of your writing into, and it starts to produce writing that's consistent with that style, maybe a little better, but not something kind of vague like I want to write it in a business way or technical way. But it, there's potential here for sure. Okay, the fourth advantage, we can edit and rewrite the text as desired. Again, this is something that is built into almost any note taker. Or we can request the AI to rewrite it based on your notes and your chosen style. So this is getting closer to what I was talking about earlier. Some cool potential here for Flipner to sort of adapt its suggestions and its style to the way that you write over time and with giving it enough text to work with. All right, this is where we get to see the founder, Alex Igorov. This section gives us his take on what's wrong with AI-generated text and why Flipner is going to make it better, which is important to hear. So, yeah, I agree with Alex. AI-generated texts are impersonal. It lacks the author's voice, as I've said a few times now. Flipner has an opportunity, of course, to make this better. I hope that Alex does a great job in pulling this off because I do think it has potential. All right, I got down to this section, the common use cases, and this is the biggest area which I think could be improved on the site, aside from that whole like text and niching down into a more specific use case from the top. We've got these sections, 6 sections that just have descriptor text and icons. The icons don't tell us a lot, honestly. As I looked through this, I think this could be reduced to probably 3. The second 2 definitely go together. So collect material for blog articles and gather information for news or articles. Right. That's the same thing. The third and sixth one are about copywriting and professional writing. So probably they could be collapsed as well. The first and fourth one aren't super connected, but I don't see why you couldn't just drop one. Honestly, we haven't seen social network texts highlighted in any of the above sections. So bringing it in now does make sense because I think that's one of the obvious use cases, but I think it could be called out a little bit earlier up the page. Anyway, back to what I was saying about reducing the text and making this section pop a little bit more. I would say drop it down to 3 common use cases, give a nice short headline for each, and basically take the descriptions all down to about 3 lines as they're laid out here. And the rest just seems like stuff that you could skip. Below that, we have this graphic that shows Flipner as mobile friendly. And honestly, this didn't make a lot of sense to me at first because among most of the people that I know who write a lot on the internet and are focused on writing a lot for the internet, not many of them do much drafting at all on their mobile phones. This may just be the circle of people that I know and the circle of writers that I interact with, but I just don't see it. So if we're connecting the text that we're producing to a large library of voice notes, which there are probably writers out there that take a lot of voice notes and then transform them into text, I think this could be useful only as far as like sorting those notes in the mobile app and syncing it to the web version and transcribing the voice notes nicely. We'll get back to that a little bit later. And then using the web app or on a computer to create the final text. Maybe in the mobile app, you could go, say, from like voice notes straight to tweets. And if you're someone who uses X or Twitter on mobile a lot, that could be useful. But I don't see the mobile side of it having a huge draw for content writers. So that is Flipner's landing page. And as I said, I think Alex is on to something here, but there are a lot of AI writing tools out there. So where I would say Flipner has the most potential, first of all, the focus on voice notes transcribed into useful pieces of content. I think there's a huge potential there because I have worked with several different transcription services when making this podcast and trying to use podcast interview content to create blog content or create other post content. And I can say from what I've tried so far, not a lot of transcription tools do this very well. Everybody says, write the way you speak, but when you actually look at a transcription of someone's thoughts on a given topic in a conversation that's unscripted, you realize that, we don't really write the way we speak, and we don't want to write the way we speak. If you're anything like me, you tend to ramble a bit. So I think this is a high potential use case for AI text tools, is to take these very human ramblings and turn them into a more structured text that has good, headings, good organization, can pull out sort of keywords that you'd like to put into that section or focus on in that section. If keyword optimization is a goal for the content that you're creating. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. I think we're early days, so I think Flipner could, be a step in the right direction with that feature. What else stood out to me from Flipner? The tone of voice was the second thing that I think he's on to something good here. But it's hard to tell exactly how it's going to be implemented. He mentions several different styles that you can choose from. Not super excited about that. But if the AI will learn from the final product that people make in Flipner and start to take their notes and turn it into their style, then I think it has some legs. All right, so just a quick note on who is behind Flipner. Let's head over to Alex Igorov's X profile. So Alex has pinned his teaser page for Product Hunt, which is great. You want as many people to find that as possible. But I would say, Alex, give yourself a nice banner. And he has not made very many tweets in the lead up to this launch. So I would say just take a more active role in reaching out to folks on Twitter or X. I'm not sure how active he is on LinkedIn, but if you want to have a great Product Hunt launch, you really have to engage a little bit more, especially in the weeks and months leading up to launch day. All right, so who is going to make the most out of Flipner? I already talked about this a little bit before, but I guess first of all, the obvious thing is people that like to take voice notes and then want to expand them into some sort of content, a blog post, LinkedIn post, Twitter post, whatever. I think that anyone that's really active already in terms of writing online blog posts and things like that, like my most recent guest, Alberto, they already have a system built pretty well for their online writing. And I think the challenge with any of these newer notes, content organization products that come to market is that people already have systems in place for this. Now, obviously, new people come in, new writers start writing online and they need to set this up from scratch. But the problem is if, for instance, you have something like a Notion set up like Alberto does, where you have all your research for all your articles, all your notes for all your different blog posts, you have like your own, the blog posts themselves are already saved there, and you're probably doing some form of analytics there as well because it's quite easy to set up. The problem is migrating all of that old stuff into a new system. And not that you necessarily need all of the old stuff, but sort of anything that you have in progress. And obviously, humans are habitual. Getting started in a new app like Flipner is sort of a blocker for anyone that is already producing content online. But if you're just starting out, sure, why not? And if you like to take voice notes, and if you want to combine all of those things into one specific hub for your content, then Flipner might just be perfect for you. Okay, let's see what my rating is for Flipner then. And it's going to be a 5 or a 6. I think with some tweaks to the messaging or a little refinement of the value proposition, or maybe some compelling examples of how the AI text transcription to content works, it would bump it up into sort of that 7 or 8. But as the website looks now, I simply don't see a compelling reason to put it into my stack of sort of content creation. Now, I have tried on occasion to record voice notes in an attempt to draft a piece of content, a blog post or a newsletter, out of that voice note. And what happened was I just didn't like the structure of the content. So I think if I were to try and do that again, or if Flipner, especially like on launch day, if Alex gives us some really great examples of people like me who have tried it, who are not satisfied with the outcome, making it work with Flipner and taking a sort of rambling voice note and then creating a nice organized piece of blog content or newsletter content out of it, that would definitely push my rating up into sort of the 8-9 range, because I think there's a lot of potential there. And I have yet to find an AI tool that does that well with podcast content, and I'm still on the lookout for that. So if you know one, I'm all ears. But I would maybe give Flipner a try in that use case. As I mentioned before, if you're someone who does take a lot of voice notes and you want to organize them, Flipner is probably going to get like an 8 if Alex executes well on this, and if you don't have a system in place already to organize those things. All right, that is my roast of flipner.com. The launch date is Thursday, January 25th. So give it a look. And if you're active on Product Hunt and you're excited about speech to text to blog posts with AI tools, I definitely recommend checking this out. And if you're looking for a new place to organize content and you make a lot of voice memos to yourself about that content. If you have ideas when you're out walking the dog for Twitter posts and you don't have time to write them down, this might be just the tool for you. So I wish Alex the best of luck on his launch, and I hope that some of the ideas I've shared here will help him maybe, brush up the value proposition a little bit ahead of that product hunt launch. So good luck, Alex. I love you're off to a great start with Flipner, and I wish you absolutely all the best with this product. Thanks, everybody, and remember, ship it and sip it.